terms and trade agreements which facilitate this thing. And the third, which is inevitable and which is difficult to discuss, geopolitical factors. So
geopolitics.
Geopolitics, that means, I just give an example, but you don't quote me that if you buy my S-400 missiles, I'll buy your coconut, for example. Or if you let me mine your nickel and cobalt, I'll buy your bananas, example. But that is what's happening. Part of it, not all, yeah. But basically, it depends on consumers. And consumers, many, as my friend Jasper mentioned, is they look for taste, exotic, expansion middle class, more money, and they want something different. Okay, but the thing about consumers is, I think now things are picking them up. I see a very positive view of Tropika because things are picking them up because of the traveling. The last 10 years traveling with cheap flights has been fantastic. So tourism builds it up. Because if you look, immigration, tourism has got a big play in the export of minor foods, Tropika foods. For example, Malaysia used to export jackfruit to Italy. So I say, what, the Italians eating jackfruit? That's fantastic. But actually, Italians, they are the
jackfruit,
they are the South Asians who are working in Italy. Same. I went to Fiji and they were exporting raw jackfruit to New Zealand. So I said, that's fantastic. You guys you're exporting New Zealand. But actually, it's for those South Asians who are consuming jackfruit in New Zealand. So it is trade between the immigrants and between the so immigration plays a big role, especially now. Now with people getting more mobile and free flights and tourism. And the other thing is, if you notice, even Middle Eastern market is already opening up because they're getting used to dragon fruit, they're getting used to jackfruit and all that. So I think those are important factors. And if you look at TFNet,
Jacob.
Yes.
If you talk about the jackfruit in Australia or in New Zealand, is it underutilized or commercialized already?
We consider here minor.
Okay, minor. Okay.
Minor. It is those foods which are categorized as major is because of the trade volume. I think I just want to say it's a trade volume. So when you look at trade volume, certain amount it's major, and then the rest are all minor because it's the amount which is traded. Yeah. So like durian, dragon fruit, passion fruit, jackfruit, lokong, rambutan, we consider it as minor foods. And the underutilized are like indigenous. Yeah, indigenous. That's how we classify it. Yeah. But like I said, I see a lot of potential because of when people get excited. Like I think yesterday the paper by Lindsay from US. So it's talking about how excited. Not all. Some people on durian. So it's something new. So it's like a novel thing. It's exotic, so people go for it. But on the home ground, because TFNet, we look at the upstream. Upstream is where we produce. What happens after? You see, sometimes here we misunderstand. Okay, we send durian to China. It's sold for 200 US, or it's sold here. It's sold for 100 US. But the farmers here are getting the same money because it's not. If you sold here, X farm is a different price than what is sold back up in the US anyway. Of course, because it's the value chain, transportation, and the storing and stuff. But we have always to remember that we are not paid for what is paid over there. But the second thing is to get on the bandwagon. It's not as straightforward.
Yeah,
it's not straightforward because you need it to build up. For example, I think the story about durian is very interesting because yes, like Malaysia wasn't into it. Thailand was and still is the major issue, but it built up because it was a niche market for frozen. In fact, Malaysia, we cannot export fresh durian to China. They say we only take your frozen durians. That's one of the conditions. So things like that. But in spite of all this, I think there is big hope for the small growers if they improve a lot of things. So the small farmers, excuse me, I just speak a little bit. The small farmers have problems with high input costs, labor problem, land problem, and quality problem. But sometimes I always ask the question: yes, we want to build up smallholders. That's fine. But are there any smallholders left? I'm not sure because if we look at data, smallholders are getting older people, and they have to institutionalize a lot of things. Land reform, maybe aggregate the land or form cooperative things like that. So like I think like Thailand is doing well in that.
Yeah,
But
so complex actually. Yeah.
Yes, but in the future, I think they're going to do like a collective thing because there are no more farmers left. Okay, the other big thing is I think with logistics and with transportation, I'm not talking about COVID, supply chain efficient and also with e-commerce, I think that's a positive light for tropical food. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, but it is it's creeping up there. It's creeping up, but we've seen positive signs in some. For example, dragon fruit is coming up, even though the biggest dragon, just give you an example, biggest dragon fruit producer is Vietnam. They have more than 50,000 hectares. But now China is over. China now has got 55,000 hectares, so they overtake it. So China is also taking over the market. So, the other important thing is proximity.
Okay.
Vietnam is close to China, easier market. Malaysia close to Singapore, easier market. Thailand has got, of course, China and of course, I think now, if you notice, market now, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar coming up. That's because of two things. One is because of proximity to China. Second thing is because of investments from China coming to this country. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. I'll just stop there and we'll listen to the rest. Thank you so much.
Okay, Jacob. One word what is I back to the TFNet. I think TFNet has a good role in terms of this.
Mr. Chairman, I think geopolitics is something beyond our, but
okay,
it's beyond our, because we don't go to that level. But I think what TFNet can do, just back to your question, I think it was also I forgot about it. But back to your question, I think what TFNet can do is to work on some kind of collaboration between producing countries. So we do simple things like, we can have like a workshop on something really specific. Maybe specific durian. Like last year we had a workshop, international workshop, specific on Fusarium disease of banana, which you worked on before, remember?
Okay.
So and we got the experts, and experts are talking with experts. So I think that's what I think TFNet is. The strength is there, getting collaboration, and at the same time, we are also trying to vie for projects which will involve few countries to work on specific issues on building up tropical foods.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. Stay tuned. I would like to go to Dr. Hung, my friend from Hanoi. We understand that your country is half tropics and half subtropics. Yeah. Then, did you compare about those opportunity for the tropical fruit and subtropical fruits? The voice, please unmute your voice is not there. Okay.
In Vietnam is a very long country, so that we have the temperate fruit and subtropical fruit in the north part, and we have the tropical fruit in the south part in my country. But with some tropical fruit, such as banana, pineapple, we can grow in the both of the south and the north provinces. But mango, we can grow in the south and grow in the north. But with some special tropical fruits such as mangosteen, durian, and rambutan, we only grow in the south provinces. But although we have subtropical temperate and tropical fruit, but almost production in Vietnam is tropical fruit. That is about the durian. I think that durian now grow in some tropical country, almost is in the Asian country. In this morning, we heard country reports. Every country we have a very good variety. We have the Musang King in Malaysia. We have the Montong and some another variety in the Thailand, and some new variety in the Indonesia. But in some another country, we do not have many good variety. For example, in Vietnam, Until now, we only have 3 varieties. It was commonly planting. So that the first, in order to bring the durian to global market, I think the first thing I have to consider to breed a new variety is to meet the demand of the global markets. I think that's the first, which some country like in Vietnam. The second thing, I think that in order to have the woods orchards, we have to have the woods planting material, so that we should focus how to establish the nursery system in order to have the wood quality of the planting material, in order to have the wood, the orchard of the durian. That's the second thing, I think, in order to for production, in order to product the meets of the global demand. The third, I think, in some countries, such as in Malaysia or in Thailand, we have very good technical cultivation processor, from how to plant, how to pruning, how to flower induction, how to control in some pest and disease. But in some countries, such as in Vietnam and some another country, technical cultivation processor still is limited. So that I think in order to have the wood product to meet the global demand, we have to improve or complete technical cultivation processor in order to apply in the production. The fourth, I think that some country so some country such as Malaysia or Thailand, we have very good variety. They have very good varieties. They have the very complete technical processor, so that in this country we can move to produce from inorganic to produce organic production in order to meet the different market in the world, with to meet with the high quality demand of markets in the world.
Do you have the specific market for the organic product?
I think there is a Euro country.
Okay.
Almost the Euro countries, they have a very high demand of the organic production.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So another thing, I think that with now we face with climate change in the whole country in the world, especially in some countries such as in Vietnam. In Vietnam, we have some provinces in the Mekong River Delta. Is climate change is influence very much. So that in
is it which part of your country which is influenced more by the climate change that you feel more?
Yes, in climate change in some province in the south part of the country, is land is very low. So that is we have intrusion. Yes. So that is.
I'm asking about that because you have the tropical and subtropical areas then.
Yes.
Okay.
So that in certain and the intrusion and new pest and disease. So that we have to fight with pest and disease in the situation. It's climate change. So that we have to find the way to control the pest and disease in the new situation of climate change. Another thing, I think we export durian is almost is fresh production, but in order to expand the market, we should invest into processing sector in order to have the different processing product in order to meet the different demand of the different market in the world. It's
Okay.
my idea.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hung, my friend. Then stay tuned. Dr. Hung is the DG of Fafri in Hanoi. I would like to goes to Rowena from the Philippines. Yeah, Rowena, you are with us.
Yes, hello once again.
Kamusta
Good
ka?
afternoon. Yeah. Mabuti.
Mabuti, okay.
Mabuti
Okay.
naman.
Okay, Rowena, it's nice to meet you again. Then, I understand that the Philippines is exporter of a big exporter of tropical fruits to the global market. Can you share the experience?
Yeah, yes, Dr. Katur. Actually, the Philippines is a big exporter of banana. Banana is the major fruit crop here in the Philippines, especially Cavendish banana, exporting all over Asia and to the rest of the world. But, and the next is pineapple.
Oh, pineapple, yeah.
Pineapple, yeah. And followed by mango. Yeah, followed by mango. So these are the three major fruit crops from the Philippines. Durian is just a minor fruit crop in the Philippines, but there's now the so-called durian craze because, as you know, durian is very expensive, and once you are into durian, you are considered among those who can afford the fruit. So there's that we call the durian craze. In the past, people from Manila, people from Luzon in Cebu are not durian eaters. But as I've said, because of the durian craze, people are now eating durian.
Okay.
So that's also the reason why the hectareage of durian, particularly here in Davao and Caraga region, where I am from, is expanding. Although there are those old plantations of durian that were affected by Phytophthora.
Phytophthora.
Yeah, which are no longer revived. So I think that is also something that we need to address. But the Bureau of Plant Industry in Davao City, which is the agency helping the fruit sector, the fruit industry here in Mindanao, is also trying hard to do research on how to manage the pests and diseases, particularly for the diseases, because durian is not particularly attacked by pests, particularly insects, but mostly diseases.
Yeah,
so,
but you are the man.
Yes, come again.
Yeah, you are the man talking about the pests on tropical fruit then.
Yeah. Mostly the diseases are managed by the Bureau of Plant Industry, the Regional Crop Protection Center, and the banana and pineapple are usually private industry led, and so this industry producing banana, like we have the Tadeco, we have the Dole, Del Monte. They're the ones also establishing their own pest and disease division, so that even the management of the plantation, like fertilization and weed management, so it's more private led. The government, through the Department of Agriculture, the Bureau of Plant Industry, are just supporting them in terms of policy, in terms of other regulatory matters. So generally, the export or the marketing of tropical fruits from the Philippines are private led.
Private sector, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you share who is the play the important role in supporting export of the tropical fruit from the Philippines to the global market in your country?
Yeah, we have the Department of Trade and Industry and the Bureau of Investment. They are the ones also linking the fruit industry in the Philippines to the global market. So
DPI and what?
the Department of Trade and Industry, DTI, and also the Bureau of Investment or Board of Investment. Yeah, and they are the ones helping the industry to connect with the global market. But as I've said, since the fruit industry here in the Philippines are led by companies that are existing also globally, like Dole and Del Monte. So that's why it's also easy for them to connect to the global markets, because like Dole, they are also existing in other countries. So perhaps the supply demand.
Yeah. So the private plays also important role, yeah, for that.
Yeah. The role of the private industry is very important in the fruit industry here in the country.
Okay. Thank you, Rowena. Rowena is the Vice President for Research and
Research, Innovation, and Extension.
Okay, Research, Innovation, and Extension from Karaga State University. Okay, nice to meet you. Stay tuned with us. I would love to go to Pak Made Suparta. Yeah. I ask an apology because I start from the end, as from the market, then goes to the technical aspect. Pak Made, nice to meet you. Pak Made is a professor in post-harvest physiology and technology from Udayana University in Bali. Rowena, if you don't know Indonesia, you know Bali. Okay. Then
I have been to Indonesia 4 times already.
Okay.
I visited Makassar.
Okay.
Please come to Bali.
Pak Made.
Yes.
Talking about the global markets, we cannot leave the post-harvest handling and processing. Can you share some ideas?
Okay. I would like to start with the market. I like, the market has been discussed in this panel as well. Because market is important, because in the market there's a consumers, there's a value. The value is so dynamic, like Jacob said. So that's in terms of to fulfill the value of the market, how to create the value in a system approach, a system approach. Look at back in Indonesia, how our system has been developed, whether the value chain system has a strong or still weak. In my opinion, it's still weak, because when we look at the value chain system, it's not just linear activity. There's many elements involved, as a support activity. So that's why, the supply chain in system in Indonesia still costly, still it's not efficient for me. So that's why, in terms of the technical thing, the technical thing like a post-harvest technology is important as a bridge, as a bridge production to the value consumers. So the technology, he's supported the system. He's a tool. It's a tool.
Wait, Pak Made.
Yes.
That moment. Talking before we go to the technology, talking about the value chains, which chain is weakest?
Okay, you know that the supply chain, the flow in Indonesia, depart from the traditional value chain. The farmers connected with the local, what do you call that, a collector, and then the local collector connected with the city collector. You know, the transaction is a short time transaction, mostly based on price rather than value, because the traditional system that we have is come from our, you know, it's a long time ago. So that's why we have to transform the system, you know, transform the system from the traditional thing to value oriented, because the consumers, like in Bali, the consumers, we have a survey, the consumers move dynamically from the traditional to become semi-modern to become modern market. You know, semi-modern, they need intrinsic quality, they need services for the modern markets, not merely for the intrinsic quality, extrinsic quality they required, and also services, of course, because Bali, you know, people well known about the tourism. So before the pandemic in Bali, you know, in 2019, about 15 million tourists coming to Bali. And you can imagine the local people is there, the population only 4.3 million. So there's a value in there, how to create that. We have to transform our system to be value oriented. That's an important thing. The gap is still high, wide here. How we close the gap. And
so what is the key point can be touched to improve that?
To improve, we have to transform the system, you know, to be a value system. Even myself now, working with the young millennial farmers, because the young millennial farmers, it's easy to, you know, to bring them to dynamic market rather than the old one. So that's why we work together right now. Even we're thinking also, and also integrated the ICT in the system. And we integrated also social ecological system, ecological value in the system, even the fair trade value also. So that's why the system has to be developed, integrated collaboratively among the chain. I mean, among the actor of this, you know, involved in the chain or in the system.
Okay. Back to the technology I asked in the beginning. What do you think about the technology or approach in the post-harvest system in our global market?
I call that in the global market, like in Bali right now. You know, I work with the, I mean, the farmer, also in exporter, how to create the value of the market, especially for the mangosteen. So we develop a system right now, a value chain system. So we identify what the value specific for the imported country, because they have a you know, food tradition, different food tradition, different country, they have a food tradition. We have to look at what the value that's emerged in the food tradition, and we have to capture, we have to create, and the technology is a support system, you know, how to create the value. So that's why like a post-harvest technology is a specific product, a specific location. We cannot bring, you know, the sophisticated, what do you call that, the technology from the Western country with a different, what do you call that, system. So we have to create the technology here. Specific product and specific location. More of because we are working with the small scale farmers. How
so that we have a problem in terms of technology. We have a problem with the on-farm technology and
on-farm, and also the logistic as well. You know, because right now, like a mangosteen, they send it to China using the air cargo. Very expensive. So that's why not efficient. Why we don't use like a river container, or even there's also CA river container we can use. But look at the cost and also the long distance of the market. So when we talk about the distance of the market, the technology required how to maintain the fruit, the quality of the fruit by up to the consumer.
Okay, okay, Pak Made, thanks for a while. And I would love to go more technical to Dr. Panca Jarod Santoso. Pak Jarod. Yeah. When we talk about the tropical fruits, we always say that's the uniqueness of the tropical fruits. Especially you may start from durian maybe, then what is the chance for durian to go to the global market?
Yeah, I think durian and also other tropical fruit, this consisted various type. So I think everybody interested with the new one, right? If there are new product comes on the market, everybody will interested to buy that. Also, there also consists in various tests also, and also contain high nutrition, which it made a healthy lifestyle. Like just now, Jasper told that one of the key characteristic for the modern life now is for nutritious food for a healthy life. So I just read that the king in terms of the king of fruit in terms of the performance is durian, but the king of fruit in terms of the nutritious is a papaya, because it's a very nutritious fruit.
Nutritious fruit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's called the king of fruit in terms of the nutrition. So that's the uniqueness of our tropical fruits. For the specific, maybe from the what yesterday Ms. Kasik told that in the Western for durian, actually generally less quality due the vulnerable of the flesh. So we can change the durian from the Durio sibetinus, now the common durian, to the another species like the Durio conatus or putensis, which there has a firm and condensed flesh. Also, they have a longer shelf life, so it can stand persist for a longer time in the
longer shelf life and odorless.
Of course, yes. Also odorless, so this more efficient in the transportation. I think that the uniqueness of our tropical fruit, especially in durian.
Talking about the diversity in the Southeast Asia of the tropical fruits, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, this to dive first. So we think which one we have to promote to the.
Then we have to select
market,
among them.
We have to select and promote the international. I think we're just waiting for the demand. What the demand? Like we have salak at particularly this is very specific. Only Indonesian have salaka. But it is difficult to how to bring it internationally. Maybe what Professor Madi said is the problem like that.
Okay, Pak Jarod, you mentioned about the nutritious content of the tropical fruits. So, what do you think? How can maybe Jacob later can also into this discussion about the how to promote this nutritious content of this tropical fruit? Pak Jarod first then.
Yeah, I think we have to more publication in that also more more research in this area, because the data for the nutrition of certain tropical fruit, especially the underutilized, is very limited. Even we cannot found that the data. Like why when the kiwi fruit comes to Indonesia and widely sold in the market due to people read the the nutrition, read the
Okay.
function of the nutrition for healthy like that. So we have to more research in this area, I think.
Okay. Jarod is the researcher from Indonesian Tropical Fruit Research Institute. Before I go to Pak Prama, back to Jacob. About the nutritious contents of the tropical fruit, how to promote it? Jacob. Your voice is still unmute.
Actually, there's already a lot of information, but now I think it's more, for me, it's more of a media war. How strong are you in your media? Because we know there's ample information about mangosteens contains this, durians contains this, pineapple. We know that,
Yeah.
you know. For example, now avocado is a big thing. It's everybody's big, but they successful because they talk about its health benefit. I think the other thing is maybe we need more clinical trials to prove. You know, right now it's just talk. Yeah, but we don't really have a clinical trial. If you eat one papaya for lunch and one durian for dinner, and then one mangosteen, you might feel better. But then again, it is a fact that all fruits has some good benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember one time. Okay, this is not about fruit. One time they were talking about mangosteens. They say mangosteens has got a lot of xanthones, antioxidant. Yeah, xanthones. But the xanthones are only around the skin, the urine. So, but I know that there's been research done to promote mangosteen as a source of antioxidants. But to me, it's more than nutrition. It has to do with taste. So most tropical fruits, I think, taste good.
Okay.
And you might not have a general, like you're eating a vitamin from a bottle, but they may have certain good properties. For example, durian has got some good properties. Jackfruit some good properties. Yeah. So just to be fair with other tropical fruits, I think we are at par in a sense. We're not super, we are at par. But they also talk about super fruits. Yeah. We have what is it? Dragon fruit is superfood. But I think it takes time. And like I said, the media has, suppose you go on CNN or you go on BBC and you talk about it for a week, people start buying it, for example. So basically, they are nutritious. Basically, you can promote, but it's how intense are we? Right now, to me, like durian, it's good for certain things, but durian is because of the taste. Yeah, they go for the taste. So there's a balance there. But I think nutrition, when you talk nutrition, we have it in tropical foods. It's just a matter of promoting it more widely.
Okay, then can the TFNet play that in that role?
Well, actually, we are more than that. Like nutrition is just part of it. Part of it. Like we talk about pineapple. Pineapple contains bromelain. Bromelain is good for inflammation, for things. But we don't know that bromelain occurs only in the middle of the pineapple, most of it.
Yeah.
So maybe
the hard part.
Things like that we can promote. But the thing is now information on fruit is quite generic. If you're a Google maniac, you type pineapple, everything will be there. Everything will be there from the research right there. So I think people know about it. If I want to know something about so the information is there. Now it's a matter of uptake or a matter of choice. Do I take grapes or do I take durian? But just one point I want to point out is, if the durian is going to cost me 50 US and the grape going to cost me 10 US, I eat grapes. I mean, that's simple, because the choice is also about how much you're going to pay for it.
Okay. We do agree with you. Then, thanks, Jacob. Stay with us, Pak Prama. Dr. Prama Yudi is from the Indonesian Center for Horticulture Research and Development in Indonesia, in Bogor. He is the senior researcher for horticulture. Yeah, Pak Prama. The previous presenter said that tropical fruit is has a very big chance to go to global markets. Do we, in your view, is there any policies, whether in the research or in the developmental of the tropical fruits, that we need to touch?
Well, yes. In my view, I think the government has set many programs to prepare our
Indonesian government
to prepare the tropical fruit to export. But of course, there are many problems that we have faced so far. So I think the most important point is that we have to look for the program, evaluate it, and we also have to sit together, not only the government, but also the many other stakeholders to sit together. Besides that, Pak Catur, I think it is not only the export that we have to deal with, because, you know, as Indonesian, we also have, people in Indonesia also have a right to have or to consume a good quality of tropical fruits.
Okay, yeah. So domestic market, I mean.
Domestic market is very important. The share for domestic market is very, very big. And for the fact is that we still can find easily that the tropical fruit in our domestic market is still low in quality. So the thing is that we have to increase the quality. The people have a right to have a good quality of fruit.
Yeah. If we talk about the domestic market for tropical fruits, it may be more than 500 million people over there.
Yeah, I think yeah, there are so many people that have a right for that. The point is that people maybe don't know where they can get the good quality of fruit. For example, let's say if you would like to have to buy a Bawar durian,
yeah,
not many people know about it, where they can buy it.
Okay.
The government program should go to there to inform people when they would like to have a good quality of fruit, they can buy in some place and many others. I think that's my point.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Prama. And it's nice to discuss about this, that there is opportunity. There is chance for us to expose the tropical fruits. While we,
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just add to Dr. Prama's comment? I like the comment about domestic market.
Yeah, go on.
Dr. Prama, I totally agree with you. I think we should start the domestic market first. We should get locals to eat. But there is something which I'm going to say, which some people may not be happy. For example, like this, there's some of the fruits which are grown locally are getting too expensive. That is only meant for those more than middle class, when the rest can't afford it. For example, if you want to buy a musang king in Malaysia, even me, I think twice whether I can eat musang king.
Okay.
Yes, but it's fine for business, fine for growers, it's good for them. For small growers, it's good. But for a consumer, it might be limiting. Maybe I can eat only one fruit for the whole year because I can't afford it. For example, yeah. So I do agree, Dr. Prama, we have to develop the domestic market. There is domestic market for others, but if you give me a choice, musang king and a guava, I eat a guava for the nutrition. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have so many choices of the tropical market for us then.
But what I'm saying is like sometimes this has happened in South America for quinoa. Quinoa is a traditional food. So now they're marketing quinoa outside of Peru, Latin America, because of its health attributes. So they are growing and they're exporting it so that more countries outside Europe are eating it, but less people in the country eating it because they can't afford it. It's too expensive.
Okay, thanks, Jacob. This interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
that's very interesting. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Jacob, yeah.
Yeah. Again, because the portion for the domestic market for us is also big, very big.
Yeah,
Then
it's
we have
very big.
we have choices. Maybe easier to touch it because as Jasper said, that's maybe only 15 to 20% of the tropical fruits goes to the sorry, only 15 to 20% of the global market is the tropical fruits. Yeah. Okay. Times run out very fastly because we have only 1 hour. But I would love to entertain one question from the participants. We have 114 participants. Maybe some of you have issue to discuss. Kindly raise your hand or directly raise the question. No one? Bu Riri, is there any question from the participant?
We'll check moment. So.
Maybe some of them already wrote the...
We don't have any question in the chat room.
Okay. Okay then, so I would love to back to the topics about the challenge and opportunity. Yeah, we have challenge for the global markets and challenge for the domestic market. Is there any of you has an idea to say that? Okay, Pak Made.
Yeah, I have experience. I did a survey for vegetable. Let's say, this is just an example. Vegetable transported from Takalar, that's from Sulawesi to Balikpapan.
From Sulawesi to Balikpapan?
To Balikpapan.
Yeah.
And the cost is high because at the end market, the price is very expensive because the losses is 40% in there.
Yeah, it is because of the connectivity there.
Yes, and I established actually, I the founder of a cold chain association of Indonesia, because cold chain is very important as essential element to support the value chain. Without the cold chain, it's difficult for Indonesia because Indonesia consists of islands.
Yeah.
We have a good potency in the eastern part Indonesia, but the value market concentrated in Java as well as Bali.
Yeah.
You can imagine without the cold chain system integrated in the value system, so we cannot develop the potency that we have so that's a problem.
Okay, so that's it's only the task of the agriculture actually.
Yep.
Yeah. To the connectivity is in terms of the transportation.
Also, if we're going to bring the product, the horticulture product to global market, we have to have look the national system.
Yeah.
Because we have different distance of production, and then we have a port like in Java we have a special port for the export of horticultural commodity. It's a long distance from the production. It need the system nationally how to bring the products from the remote production area to the port that is concentrated, especially in Java, to be exported to the global market. A cold chain system is very essential.
Okay. Rowena, do you have the same problem? Because the Philippines is the same archipelago.
Yeah. I've been in Philippines to have look at the cold chain in there because until now I'm the board of trustee of the cold chain association in Indonesia, and I've looked the cold chain, yes, bit better than Indonesia, I think.
Okay. Any other one to respond?
Yes, hello again.
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we also have the same problem here in the Philippines because of the archipelagic nature of the Philippines. Like here in Caraga region, there was a project on the Philippine cold chain of the Winrock International, and it's for the highly perishable fruits and vegetables. And you know, if the project would not be sustained, then the warehousing and logistics facilities are just standing there.
So it is not feasible for the real business?
Actually, it's feasible. It's just that the government should take over after the project is completed. But for the fruit industry, as I mentioned, this is private-led. And so the reefer vans and so on are really working or operating efficiently. So there's no problem about it. And there is also the seaport dedicated for the banana in Mindanao, in Davao. So actually it's efficient. Only for the small growers, for the small farmers, but for the multinational fruit industry, there's no issue about it.
Okay. Any other response from other? Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, sorry, yes. Actually, it's normal. I just want to say that very realistically, when you talk about exports and big production, it's all big boys. It's all the commercial areas. And even when they export, it's always people in that country and the exporter here, good relationship. So export markets are normally spearheaded by this kind of relationship. But maybe now to get our smallholders on the bandwagon, we have to ensure that there's some form of social responsibility from the big companies to encourage the smallholders to grow to their standards and try to supply them with our whatever produce they have. I think that's only like what is done in the Philippines. I think also in Indonesia. So we have to get the small growers to jump on the same boat as the big players, with the big players providing assistance in terms of training and planting material and so on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. So I think the time is up. Thanks for everyone, for all the resource persons, and also for all of the participants. So more than 100 participants. But I would like to conclude that we have the opportunity for the tropical fruits. We have a big opportunity to grow the tropical fruits because of the diversity, because of the nutritious content of the tropical fruits, and because of the big market of the global or domestic market. That's the opportunity. The challenge is how to improve the quality, how to supply and enough volume for that, and how to deliver the fruits for domestic or for the global markets. That's my conclusion. I think the committee will have the more comprehensive conclusion for that. And I ask an apology for leading this sessions. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Maybe, Mr. Chairman, maybe we can suggest that maybe Indonesia can also host this kind of a one-day meeting, but talk only about trade. And
good.
So it's more detailed. Right now, Right now, we're just talking,
Yeah.
but I think to be serious, maybe we need a 2-day workshop just on trade and global marketing, whatever it is. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
do
a
agree
good
with you.
idea.
Yeah, 1 hour is not enough.
Yeah, sure. 1 hour is not enough. Thank you, Dr. Chatter. Thank you, Jakob. Thank you all.
Thank you to our honorable keynote speakers and moderator for bringing us valuable information and knowledge during difficult fruits. It is now we come to part of our meeting, which is the closing ceremony. Before the closing remarks, we come to the most anticipating part of our conference, which is the announcement of the best presenters. We have 3 awardees here. It's a very tight competition. They have the same mark. So, Mr. Henry, can you please show the winner, please? And the Best Presenter Award of the Second International Seminar on Durian and Other Tropical Fruit goes to kindly wait for a moment, please.
It's coming, I think.
Okay. Center goes to Dr. Aziza Misram with the title of presentation Musangking Durian, the volatile organic compound ester composition and their changes during long-term frozen storage. The second one, Dr. Siwi Indarti with the presentation of plant parasitic nematodes associated with Carica papaya L in Yogyakarta, Special Province, Indonesia. And the third one, congratulations to Aziza Ratna Kanti with the title of Mangosteen Agribusiness Development in Production Area, an approach to build farmer group association as future social capital in rural area. Congratulations to all winners.
Thank you.
Okay. And now, Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite the General of Indonesian Center for Horticulture Research and Development, Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Taufik Rautule, MSE, for delivering the closing remarks, and afterward, we request the Director to officially close the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Muhammad Taufik Rautule.
Okay, thank you for giving your time for today, for presenting, and also thanks for the second international symposium on durian and other tropical fruits. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon. The Honorable IO Representative, Honorable Organizer, Tropical Fruits Network, and Indonesian Association of Horticulture, Tropika, invited speaker, participants from all over the world, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Australia, and USA. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's praise and thanks to God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, for giving us opportunities to attend and gather in the second international symposium on durian and other tropical fruits, and has provided us with help happiness, and conducive situation, especially during pandemic COVID-19. The event is one of the dissemination elements of Indonesian Agency for Agriculture Research and Development (IARD) to accelerate and deliver technology innovation in agricultural sector to users around the world. This symposium is also part of the agendas, the International Years of Fruits and Vegetables, which is a campaign that can inspire individuals, farmers, the private sectors, and government to consume an increasing activity in fruits and business. As a tropical producing country, Indonesia has contributed in international years of fruits and vegetables, such as in International Symposium on Durian Fruits 2021. My role as a participant in this symposium, which is attended by more or less 250 participants and around 50 presenters, we have all given and shared experiences on research, plans in sustainable agriculture innovation, technology for delivering durian and other tropical fruits to local markets. In terms of cultural practices and plant protection, land genetic resources and breeding, plant pest and diseases management, post-harvest technology, and agricultural social economics as well. I really hope that all of us capable to absorb and adopt all the technology, the knowledge, science, and technologies were shared. Further, all of you can do the identification based on local wisdom that you have in your own country. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to not, not prolong the speech, I would like to thank the Indonesian Ministry of Agriculture Indonesian Agency for Agriculture Research and Development, Indonesia Center for Agriculture Research and Development, for supporting the program, as well as co-organizer of Tropical Fruits Network TNN and Indonesian Horticultural Association of I would like also to convey thank you to various people, as well as presenters and participants, who really share their experiences in tropical fruit expertise. The last but not least, congratulations and thank you to all committee members, nationally and internationally, who made possible this event behind. With the sign of Alhamdulillah, officially close the second international symposium on the way and tropical fruits. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of our efforts of the global tropical area. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Taufik Rotule, for officially close the conference. A quote by Lao Tzu said that, "Do the difficult things while they are easy, and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." So let this conference be one of our contribution in building as well as developing durian and other tropical fruit global market industry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please accept this verse from us. Pergi travel hunting durian. Jangan lupa coba pula buah rambutan. Kalau kami punya kesalahan, mohon kiranya kami dimaafkan. Which roughly means, please forgive us for all our shortcomings. We hope to see you again in our other organized conference, both online and offline meetings. Stay in touch to spread our network. Till we meet again, may all us stay safe and healthy. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Thank you, Dr. Nguyen Wadhum.
Thank you, Fadi. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Pak Taufik Rafduli. Thank you, Pak Catur.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Jacob.
Thank you.
Okay, see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dorothy.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, Pak Effendi. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you.
Hi, Dorothy. Thank you very much.
Take care, Dr. Hook.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Lina. Thank you, Bu Rizka. Thank you, everybody.
Welcome, Pak. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Pak
Thank you, Pak Jacob. Thank you.
Yeah. Lebih in touch, ya.
Yep. Okay. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Okay.